This lesson is a mindset lesson, and it could have been put in any of the different phases, but I'm putting it here, the plan stage, because I think it's important, one, to really integrate this lesson as early on in your journey as possible. But two, because this is the stage where we really start to develop who we are, who we serve, and how we're going to show up in the world. And what we're talking about today is my invitation to you to stop apologizing for existing. Now, everybody kind of comes into their business with various levels of discomfort for what they're doing. There's, some unsurety as to whether you even know what you're doing. In often cases, it's not unusual for me to get mobile bar owners who are like, I've never tended bar, but this seems like fun. Or people who are first-time business owners. So they're really unsure about a lot of the things that they're doing. And what that does is sometimes it shows up as an insecurity in their business. And I'm going to give a few examples of the way that I've recently seen this and why it really makes me uncomfortable for them and then just for me. And there's a book out there that I don't know who writes it, but I've heard it's Girl Stop Apologizing. I've never read it. I don't know what it is, what she talks about, but my guess is that she probably talks about some of this, especially because women in general tend to be the types that do apologize for all things. You bump into someone and they're going to be like, oh, sorry. It's like, oh, I bumped into you. I'm sorry, right? So the first example I'm going to give you is someone who is on LinkedIn. Now, in full transparency, this person was not female, based on the pronouns that they were using. And this message, I'm just going to read it verbatim. I'd like to apologize in advance. You're going to be seeing a lot of me on LinkedIn next week. I've got some exciting news coming out that I know will be able to help people immensely. That means me, my face, my dancing, and my energy are going to be on here full swing next week. You've been warned. Smile emoji. The day before that, I got an email from someone who's just reaching out with a service that they were pitching, and the email started, sorry to pop into your email again. And then my cousin, who's a very successful photographer, she's fairly new. She's only been in the business for about 3 years, but she's seeing some immense success, right? Like, yay for her. Posted on Facebook. I apologize for what looks like bragging, but I just doubled my Q1 sales and I'm so excited. Why is everybody apologizing? All of these entrepreneurs are apologizing for their attempts to be seen. Facebook does not apologize when they plaster my phone with experiences and constant notifications. And I've got people that drop into my inbox multiple times a day with maybe, their program that's coming out, or, the products that Wayfair is the worst. They've always got, God forbid you search for something, then they're in their inbox for like the next 17 times about, the dog crates that you were looking at. And then nobody's ever apologizing for this. So my invitation to you is to save your apologies for when you have failed to meet an expectation, period. You said you'd get back to someone within 24 hours and you did not. Or maybe you even sense that too long has gone on based on your own expectations of yourself, right? Even in those cases, I suggest holding off on apologizing unless you have stated, we'll get back to you within 24 hours. They have no expectation of you because you haven't set an expectation. So if it takes you 48 hours and they may be upset about it, but you haven't established that you were going to get back to them sooner. So why should you apologize, right? If you were at an event and something went out of expectation, then apologize. Even if it's I apologize, you thought that was what was going to happen, right? Because you can ultimately take some responsibility for the fact that expectations should have been set at the beginning. Apologies are meant to make people feel seen when they have been wronged and when they have shared with you that they've been wronged, not necessarily to preempt a feeling, right? You do not need to apologize for showing up a ton on social media or for emailing your contacts. Like, that's what the unsubscribe button is for, or sharing your successes with the world. When you apologize, you're immediately telling the reader or the person that you're speaking with that they shouldn't like something. So I read to you that example in the beginning, and I'll read it to you again. I'd like to apologize in advance. You're going to see a lot of me on LinkedIn next week. I've got something exciting coming out that I know will be able to help people immensely. That means that me, my face, my dancing, and my energy are all going to be on here in full swing next week. You've been warned. Smile emoji. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to kind of feel that in your body. I apologize in advance. You have been warned. Okay, now I'm going to reread it by taking the first and the last sentence out. You are going to be seeing a lot of me on LinkedIn next week. I've got some exciting news coming out that I know will be able to help people immensely. That means that me, my face, my dancing, my energy are all going to be on here full swing next week. That feels totally different to me. I'm not thinking, oh, even they know this level of excitement means like it's so annoying. I'm thinking, ooh, this must be good. And then the email that I got from this person for the second time in a week, I wasn't like, who's this asshole in my inbox again? There was no need for an apology. I know where my delete button is, but I also don't like people showing up groveling for a morsel of my time and attention. Even if I was annoyed, their little apology wouldn't make me think, oh, well, at least they're sorry about it. I guess I'll buy that thing or book that call, right? Here's the thing. If you want your company to be big, you have to be big. You have to take up space and you have to own it. You have to be so completely confident in the product and your purpose that you are actually confused as to why anyone would not want to be hearing from you as much as they possibly could. Like almost to the point of like guilty that you haven't sent an email or showed up on social media recently. If they're not your ideal client, they'll unfollow, they'll unsubscribe, they will stop showing up. Let them. Anytime anyone comes, and it happens occasionally, where people are like, stop sending me emails. Absolutely, no worries, I'll unsubscribe you. I mean, the unsubscribe button was there all the time. They could have used it, they chose not to. Now I know that they don't want my content. Thank you for cleaning up my list. I get unfollowed every once in a while on Instagram or wherever. Okay, cool. You are no longer, my ideal client. That's okay, because it means the people that remain, they like hearing from me, right? I actually looked into why companies, or if companies fail for just like being annoying. And I could not find a single example, not a case study, not anyone that was like, this company failed for just being annoying. This person showed up too much. No, what I did find was that companies fail because they fail to innovate. They fail to manage their money properly. They fail to manage their teams properly, or they failed to be visible and that people just didn't know who they were. They never fail because they were too much. They were too big or too in your face. So my invitation to you is to integrate this. Be big, be seen, be proud, be passionate about what you do and who you serve, and show up. Show up for yourself, show up for your business, and the more the better. At some point, if you're being too annoying, you will see people drop off at a greater rate, and that's okay. And it may not even be about you being too much. It may just be that maybe the content has shifted. Like if you're starting to scramble for content, you're like, well, I feel like I need to post something. This isn't really like my typical type of content, but like I need something. And so it's at hand. So I'm just going to post this. That is more detrimental to you than showing up consistently and showing up loudly to your ideal client. So that's my invitation. Start practicing it now. Stop apologizing for existing. If that is something that you do, show up with a bit more confidence, and save apologies for when actual expectations have been, or have you failed to meet actual expectations, whether intentionally, unintentionally. That's the perfect place for apologizing. And in that case, you apologize with authenticity. None of the, oh, sorry, but, or I'm sorry you feel that way, but, right? Just like truly sorry. Sorry we failed to meet your expectations here. Next time, will be better about ensuring that we clarify those things beforehand, or, that was truly our bad. And, we didn't mean to make the mistake, but we did, and we're sorry, right? That's the perfect way to apologize. Those are the perfect times to apologize. Not for existing, not for sharing your wins, not for being big and being loud. I look forward to seeing more of all of you.